Welcome back to This Day in Irish History. I'm your host, Raymond Welsh, and today we're looking at a critical moment in Irish history that took place on January 28th, 22, the official establishment of the Government of Northern Ireland. This was a day that marked the institutionalization of partition, shaping the political and social landscape of the island for generations. To fully understand the events of January 28th, 1922, we need to revisit the context leading up to this day. The early 20th century was a time of profound upheaval in Ireland, as the country grappled with demands for independence and the resistance of unionists, particularly in the northeast, who were determined to remain part of the United Kingdom. The Anglo-Irish Treaty, signed on December 6, 1921, was the pivotal agreement that ended the Irish War of Independence. While it established the Irish Free State as a self-governing dominion, it also recognised the partition of Ireland, allowing 6 counties of Ulster to opt out of the Free State and remain part of the United Kingdom. These counties, Antrim, Armagh, Derry, Down, Fermanagh and Tyrone, had a Protestant unionist majority, unlike the predominantly Catholic nationalist South and West. The partition of Ireland was formalised through the Government of Ireland Act 1920, which created 2 separate Home Rule parliaments, one for Northern Ireland and one for Southern Ireland. While the latter was largely ignored as the Irish Free State was soon established instead, the Northern Ireland Parliament began functioning in June 1921. January 28, 1922, marked the official establishment of its executive branch, solidifying the governance of Northern Ireland within the UK. The Prime Minister of Northern Ireland, Sir James Craig, led this new administration. Craig and his government were staunch unionists who viewed their position as a safeguard for Protestant and unionist interests. While this marked a triumph for unionists, it was a bitter day for nationalists, who saw the partition as a betrayal of Irish unity and a compromise that entrenched division. The creation of Northern Ireland formalised boundaries that had profound and lasting consequences. The 6 counties of Northern Ireland were carved out of a province with 9 counties, leaving 3, Cavan, Donegal and Monaghan, as part of the Free State. This division highlighted the deep sectarian and political fault lines that would continue to define the region. For the Catholic and nationalist minority within Northern Ireland, this new political arrangement was a source of alienation and marginalisation. Unionist dominance in the Northern Ireland Parliament and its policies led to widespread discrimination in housing, employment and voting rights. Over the decades, these grievances would fuel tensions and contribute to the outbreak of the Troubles in the late 1960s. From its inception, the Government of Northern Ireland was closely tied to Britain, with its policies and security apparatus reflecting unionist fears of Irish republicanism and nationalist aspirations. The partition of Ireland and the establishment of the Northern Ireland government, therefore, created a state within a state that would become a flashpoint for conflict, identity struggles, and competing visions of the future. While some unionists celebrated January 28, 1922 as a triumph of their determination to remain part of the United Kingdom, nationalists mourned it as the day Ireland's unity was fractured. This duality has persisted in the region's political discourse, as debates over identity, sovereignty, and reconciliation continue to shape life in Northern Ireland. Looking back, the establishment of the Government of Northern Ireland on this day in 1922 was more than an administrative milestone. It was a moment that institutionalized division, embedding a legacy of tension and mistrust. As we reflect on this history, we're reminded of the importance of understanding the past to navigate the present and build a more inclusive future. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of This Day in Irish History. Please like and subscribe. I'm Raymond Welsh, and I'll see you tomorrow for another journey through Ireland's fascinating past. Slán go foill.